Hey everyone, it's Tony, and I have the second in my third series of videos on meeting my dogs. This here is Amelia. She's very shy, but she's just the cutest little thing. This is my puppy. The last video we introduced you to Shelly. She was our first dog, and I'm doing these in this order that we got the dogs, and I will put some up here in the cards. Shelly's video, but I will also link it down below if you want to watch that one later. But see if I can get her to look at the camera. She's very, very shy, very shy. This is Amelia. She is my puppy, and she's very shy. She's very skittish, so we're going to put her down, okay? So we got Shelly after deciding we weren't going to get any dogs, and the crazy story of how we ended up Shelly. Those are my dogs. Shelly is right now asserting the fact that she is queen with the dogs. Are you guys done? Okay. So we had Shelly for a few years, and we decided, she needs somebody. She needs somebody, because at that point we were both working, the kids were in school, and we felt bad that Shelly was by herself during the day. So we were like, okay, we need another dog. So she has someone to play with. But we wanted one that looked a lot like Shelly. We liked that look, that chihuahua, kind of long hairish. And so my husband had gone onto this website. It was on Facebook. It was a Facebook group about small dogs. It was a small dog rescue here for our state. And he tells me, oh my God, I found a dog. Sends me a picture. This dog does look like Shelly. So we're like, okay, let's go. This is like in November. I remember that. So we go and, hi Mama, my puppy. So we go and we walk in, and it is a small dog rescue. All these beautiful dogs and so many chihuahuas. So we tell them we're here to see this dog. They lead us over to her, and we realize, wow, that is a big dog. I don't know what she was bred with, because she was Chihuahua. You could tell she was Chihuahua, but she was huge. And we didn't want that big of a dog. After years of my husband having a big dog, and I grew up with big dogs, I wanted a small lap dog. And so did my husband. They're just easier to control in my mind. They're smaller dog poops. Let's admit it, smaller dog poops. And we just wanted a small dog, so we never really had it. I know towards the end of my living with my parents, my mother had started having chihuahuas, and I really liked them. At first, I hated chihuahuas. I thought they looked like little rats. But once I had them in my life, I just fell in love with them. That's what we introduced my husband to with Shelly, and he fell in love. So anyway, I started veering off course. So we look at the dog. It is way too big. So the lady's like, well, feel free to look at the other dogs. And we're like, okay. So we're going up and down, and they have like these big square wooden boxes that the dogs are in. And they all look happy, and all the dogs are like, arg, 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 bark, look at me, trying to get your attention. And at the very last square is this dog, this dark brown dog. And she's just sitting there, nice and straight, just looking at you. You'd walk by and she's like, wouldn't move, just look at you. Her eyes would move. Didn't make a noise. Didn't seem excited to see people. She just stayed there. So we're going through all the dogs, looking down at this, and they tell us, if there's a dog that you want to really look at, let us know, and we'll take you into this one room so you can get to know the dog one-on-one and get to know the dog better. And we're like, okay. So after walking up and down and looking at all the dogs, we get back to the end. And I remember I had my arms on the top of the box, because they're like in a box. And my husband's next to me, and I'm like, Henry, look at that dog. It just stares at you. It doesn't move. The other dogs are doing tricks trying to get your attention. This one just isn't moving. And he goes, yeah, he noticed that. And then I said, that is one ugly dog. Because she had this really bizarre look. And what I realized was her hair color, it's like this dark chocolate brown with like highlights. Her eyes were the same exact color. It had the two shades of brown, so it was all monotone in a way. And there was just something about that dog. And I told Henry, I don't know, I'm being drawn to that dog. And he's like, me too. So we asked if we can see her. And I believe they were calling her Hershey because of Hershey chocolate. So we go into the room and we're there, and she's very, very quiet. She just sits still, not a single, really doesn't move a lot, doesn't make any noise. And they start telling us her backstory. She was a rescue dog. She was actually rescued from the pound. They were going to euthanize her. And from what we got told, when she was surrendered over to the pound, they realized she was an abused dog. And you could, once they said that, like, it clicked. Okay, now I know why this dog's very quiet, why this dog does not want you to go towards it. It's just like, I'm here, you're there, we're good. And so I'm like, okay, so we're trying to deal with the dog, touch the dog, pet the dog. And when you put your hand over to her, she kind of goes down, does that little hunch thing, and my heart just broke. Because I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this dog was just, you could tell this dog has been abused. You could tell this dog has not had love. And I am one of those people that I love to fix people. My husband always jokes that I like to fix people. I like to help people. I was a psych major in college, okay? Sue me, there's worse things I could be. So we pet this dog, we get to know this dog, and we're in there for about 15 minutes. And I'm like, I want this dog. I want this dog. And he's like, yeah. So we take the dog, we go outside, and there's a lady there who's one of the foster moms. And she's like, oh, you're going to take her? She's telling me how she was thinking of taking the dog. She was like, but you know what? She goes, I foster a lot of dogs. You go ahead and take her. For those of you who don't know the whole rescue thing, foster moms are ones, foster dads too. They take these dogs from the rescue and they will take them home, and they will make sure that they're trained, kind of get them ready for a real family. And so she's like, no, go ahead and take the dog. So we go, we adopt her, we take her home. So when we were taking her home, we were wondering, what are we going to call her? What are we going to call her? I did not like the name Hershey. We're big geeks, and we decided on naming her Amelia Pond. Some of you, if you've watched Doctor Who, you get that reference. Amy Pond was one of Doctor Who's companions. And he always used to say, come along, Pond. So we called her Amelia Pond, so that way we could say, come along, Pond. And it's funny because we've never done that. We call her Amelia, Miss Amelia. There is actually a picture, if I can find it. It's called Chupacabra because she's just, I think she was in attack mode. Henry was attacking her, and they took a picture of it. And I call her the mamas. She's my baby. She's my Amelia. And she's amazing. We adopt her, we take her home, and I will insert a picture if I can find it here. She was extremely skinny. Her bones, you could just feel her bones. She was so thin. You just hold her, you just felt bones. And she made no noise. She didn't bark. She didn't make any noise. You know, when you pet dogs, sometimes they're like, you can tell they're happy. They're making that little happy noise. Nothing. There is no noise coming out of this dog. She's a really good dog. She blended very well with Shelly. Once we had her, she started gaining weight. She went from being this really thin, skinny dog whose bones you could see to she is solid. She is muscle. You know how some dogs, you can feel them, you can feel the muscle on them? This dog is muscle. She's very athletic. She loves to run. She's the only dog that we have that really likes to play with Henry. The other dogs, they have to be in the mood for it, and that happens rarely. But this dog loves a play fight with Henry. She's very energetic, and she has become my dog. I say that she knew who Mama was. One thing that surprised us, I think we had her for a month or two, when we heard this noise, and we're like, what is that noise? It was extremely high-pitched. And we realized, that's Amelia. Her bark was so high because she hadn't used her vocal cords in so long. And over time, the bark has gotten deeper and deeper and deeper. Now it's a normal sounding bark. She's my dog. She is a cuddler. She loves to be right there with you. She is my shadow. She is constantly my shadow wherever I am. That's where she is. She sleeps with me. She gets up with me. She's an amazing dog, and she just loves love. Once she realized she was safe and that she was going to be loved and that there was going to be no abuse, she started coming out of her shell. It took a few years for her to not flinch. It took a few years for her to be trusting of people. She hates men with hats. I figure whoever abused her wore a hat and was male. But she's getting better with people. She'll go up to you. She loves to be petted, things like that. She's not a big barker. She is a licker. She is a licker. And what we've learned is that they do that. It's her coping mechanism. It calms her down. Calms her down. We talk to the vet about it. That's what it takes for my puppy to feel loved and safe. It's what I'm going to do. But she and Shelly have gone along so well. They are peas in a pod. They are amazing. And she has always been the one who was like, okay, whatever Shelly wanted to do, Shelly was leader. Amelia would just do whatever was. But lately, there's been some competition for that role. Amelia has gotten really confident in herself and is she's starting to be assertive. She's starting to demand respect. And I love that about her. So that is my story on Amelia, my baby. She's amazing, and she's right here. So the next video will be on our last puppy, Princess Honey. And when I have that video done, I will put it in the cards at the end of this video, and I will also link it down below. But comment down below, what kind of dog do you have? And do you have a story about your dog? Did you rescue a dog and it not only changed your life, but you changed its life? Because I always say that Amelia, not only did we rescue Amelia, but Amelia brought something to my heart that wasn't there before. I've only had one other dog in my life, my Tobias Alexander, who was also a Chihuahua, and Toby was that special dog that I had a connection with. And I haven't had Tobias. I was in college. I'm 49. I was in college when I had Tobias. So it's been a good 20 plus years since I've had a dog I can connect with. Okay, so that's it. That's my video on my puppy. I'm going to link my channel here. And here is my video on Shelly. And I will see you guys next time. See ya.